listeners. Welcome to another episode of Romance Unraveled. This is your host, Jacob Bozen.
Hi, everyone. I'm your co-host, Jamie Lobato, and I do not have a crush on Jacob.
He totally does. Anyways, or at least he used to. Anyways, we have a guest with us this week. Her name is Baylee. I don't know her personally, but she submitted to come onto the show. She actually messaged me directly, how I always instruct you guys at the end of an episode. So Baylee, let's have you introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Bailey. I'm 24 years old. I live in Layton, Utah, a mother of two, a 4-year-old son named Rockwell, goes by Rocky, and a 1-year-old daughter named Rosie Lynn, who goes by Rosie.
What we're here to talk about today is your story that I know nothing about. So let's get into it.
So, this is the story of how my daughter came to be, brought into this world. So, I met her dad. It was the year of 2022, I think. Yes, or three. It was the end of the year, so I guess 2020. Yeah. But anyways, we went on a little blind date, but we went on a group date. So I invited a friend and he invited his friend. And then we went to a haunted house. And then on our third date, but the second one, we went by ourselves and no other friends. And then the third date, I find out his real age, that he was has been lying to me this whole time. And he told me that he was my age. And little did I know, he's like 2 years younger than me, almost 2 years, but still. I'm like, oh, great. And then 3 months into dating, we started dating in November, so a month after meeting. And 3 months into dating, I find out that he cheated on me through the girl messaging me directly,
Oh
sending
my
me
goodness.
like pictures on her doorbell camera of him standing there. And I'm like, cool.
That is
And then
sad.
Well,
So how did
well,
you end up finding out his real age?
um we were at Top Golf and he had to show his ID. And I'm like, why does it say 2003 instead of 2001? So, yeah,
Were
sorry, I
you
forgot to
were you
mention.
skeptical? Like, did you mean to look at his ID for that purpose, or was it just something that you saw?
I totally believed him, but then he would never show me like his driver's license or like he told me he lost his ID, so we couldn't go to the bar. And then he pulled it out at Top Golf, and I'm like, oh, I thought you lost it. And then I'm like, why does it say 2003 instead of 2001?
Yeah. So
He,
talk to us about this girl that he was with, who he was cheating with. Um, what was the message that she sent you?
she told me that he came over to um, her house, and every time he does, they have sex. And I'm like, oh, of course you guys do that late at night. And then the next day after that, he like totally came over to my house because she sent like the date and stuff. I'm like, oh, he came over to my house the next night and slept with me too because I'm his
so
girlfriend.
how did she, so how did this whole thing come to light where you found out or that she found out about you?
She messaged me on, I think, Instagram. She just found my socials and then DM'd me. And I'm like, oh, yep, that's my boyfriend on your doorbell camera.
How did she know that you were connected to him, though?
I have no idea how she found me, actually.
Probably went through his phone, hopefully.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. But I think just through socials and like me, I don't know, probably, I think he posted me a couple times. So she knew he had a girlfriend, but why would you let him come over if you knew he had a girlfriend?
Yeah, you
So
should be surprised by people,
I,
honestly.
I find all that out and break up with him. And then the next day I go over to my friend, well, I go over to my cousin's house. And I'm like, that would be the worst thing if I was pregnant with his baby. Like, I just want to be done with him. And she's like, I have an early pregnancy test if you want to take one. And I'm like, sure, because I like 100% like knew I wasn't going to be pregnant. My period wasn't late yet. And then I take the test, dark blue lines, two blue lines, and it was positive. And I got back together with him after like a couple months, but we were just so toxic. And then we would break up, get back together. And then when we were together when my daughter was born, which was October 27th of 2024. And everything was good until like the last 3 months. Like he stopped helping out with the baby and we weren't sleeping in the same bed anymore because he didn't want to be woken up by my kids. And I'm like, okay, well, this is your daughter. You can help out too. We were just fighting all the time. And then he was not the nicest to my son. And when he put his hands on him, that's when I broke up with him officially and haven't been back together with him since.
Okay, so that's a lot right there. So
Yeah.
let's go back to it a little bit.
Mouthful.
So your son, who's also a toddler child, he
Yes.
talked to us about that. And if it's hard for you to talk about, we don't have to talk about it. Like, what do you mean? Like he beat him up or what?
No, so my son was like playing and he like hit him in the face because boys are boys and they roughhouse. And my daughter's dad didn't like that and he got really mad and he said, "Don't ever do that," but covering his mouth and like shaking his hand. I'm like, go. And then I broke up with him the next day and we haven't been together since then.
Hmm. Yeah, that's like crazy. And so, when you had the baby, and then you were in that period where he seemed to me at least from what you're saying, he turned around and started being normal a little bit, and then
Yeah.
he started probably realizing what his responsibilities were and started like running for the hills. Talk to us about that time a little bit more.
Yeah, pretty much. He always just thought, well, I think he always thought my son was like too much for him. And then I don't think he was ready to become like an instant like stepdad. And I don't think he ever will. And that's why I truly will never get back together with him because he can't and doesn't treat my son like his own as he should. So it's hard, but gotta live with it because my kids come first, even if I love the dude and but doesn't matter. That's not okay what he did. Never will be. And I haven't looked at him the same since finding out he cheated on me. And so our relationship has been toxic since then. And yeah, it's getting a little better now, but we don't talk only about our daughter.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. So do you have like you don't have a co-parenting relationship right now, so it's like, does he come and see your kids? Does he like have custody over them, like have custody or whatever?
He has he is not my son's dad, just my daughter's dad. And he has no custody. I have full custody over both my kids and they live with me. But he'll see her maybe once or twice a week, but he leaves out a um state a lot for work. So he left for 10 days and I blocked him because he told me he would never leave out of state again because he left his daughter her first year of life for like 5 months and he likes to think it was like three, like summer cells. I'm like, did you forget you left a month before that? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's hard.
Yeah. So I've been raising her on my own for the most part. I asked him to send me $50 for half of her bill that they charge us every month, and he sent me like $35. I'm like, thank you.
You serious?
Yeah. And then he sent 25 the next day. I'm like, okay, thanks. He finally sent the rest. He's like, here's the rest. Sorry, I forgot. But that's all he sends for the month. I'm like, she still needs diapers and wipes and food and
Yeah,
necessities. Like,
$50.
yeah. And that's all I got. I work part-time, so I'm currently living with my parents until I can get back on my feet and raise these babies by myself. What I have been doing for the last 4 years. I do have a lot of help though from my parents and my family. I'm really appreciative toward them for supporting me, especially going through the last 4 years and having to move back home after moving out when I was 18. And yeah, but I love being a mom. I love my babies. And I wouldn't change it for the world.
Well, that's a blessing for sure to get help.
Yeah, I don't take them for granted.
Yeah, definitely. So it sounds like you're, moved along or moved like on from this person. Are you dating now? Talk to us about anything going on in that world. It doesn't sound like to me you might be, but I'm just curious.
I've had two relationships since him the last year, but I'm currently single and taking a break from boys and just focusing on me and my babies and just letting them come to me and see where the time takes us over the years. But I'm enjoying just focusing on me and my babies, and it's really helped my mentality and just like spending more time. Like I'm never on my phone anymore, and I love it because I don't have to worry about like notifications and texting people back. Sorry, people I don't text back, but that is why.
Yeah. So let's go back a little bit. I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but I think it was
Sorry.
really, no, it's okay. Um, let's talk about, so when you found out that he was cheating on you, what was the confrontation that you had with him over that? Like, did you just call him out in person? How did you handle that situation?
He came over to my house. Actually, I think I sent him pictures. I'm like, WTF? Like, what are you doing? I don't really remember. I think I confronted him in person too. And that's like when I officially broke up with him. The first time I broke up with him. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. Um, So, what was the reason that you got back with him primarily just because you were pregnant, or was there something else to that as well?
I mostly just wanted to make things work for my daughter because I didn't have that with my son's dad. And I was still by myself and had my mom in the C-section room with me when I had my son. And Rocky met his dad when he was 4 months old.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, that's hard.
That's another story about Rocky's dad.
Yeah, well, that is hard. Is there anything else you'd like to share about the story?
Just that I don't trust people a lot easily now, and I don't know how to change that because I feel like all guys lie just to get what they want, and that if they don't, then they cover it up with more lies. And I tend to date a lot of liars, and that's why I haven't found the right one yet.
Yeah, yeah. Jamie, do you have any advice?
No, I think honestly, I think what you're doing is key, right? Is focus on yourself. Everything will fall into
Yeah.
place when it happens. I do have a question for you though. So has the woman that texted you or the girl that texted you, do you talk to her at all still? Is she dating this guy? What do you know anything about that?
I haven't, well, I have reached out to her again, like asking if like he's been over there, just like making sure he hasn't, because I felt like he was cheating on me, like
Hmm.
in our relationship, like a couple months before we broke up. because I just felt like he was always on his phone and he would never let me see it, but he was always looking at mine to make sure I wasn't cheating, but I wasn't. So obviously the cheater's gonna look at the other person's phone because they assume they're cheating when they really are instead. But and then she's like, "No, I have a new boyfriend." And yeah, so I don't know if she's still with her new boyfriend or what.
I
Hmm.
mean, I'm glad. I think the story, right, is that at the end of the day, it was good that she reached out to you, so at least you were aware, right?
Yeah.
And it's never a good thing. I feel like lying about age is already like age is like the first thing I think people lying about is like already a no and like a deal breaker.
Yeah,
So,
I should
you
not have
know,
dated the guy, but I'm lucky that I have my daughter. She is a true blessing, a little miracle baby. Like how? From her dad, but
who was
I
Hopefully
got
the
lucky.
bad traits don't come out one day.
Oh yeah.
right?
No kidding.
Did so I know you said your son's dad. Did anything happen with him with your ex when he hit your son?
Um, so I didn't well, I told him what happened and I'm like, this is why I'm not with him anymore, just so you're wondering. I don't know. Just so he knows
Right,
that we broke up and we
right.
won't be seeing him anymore. He was like, "Oh, that's good that you broke up with him." I'm like, "Yeah, my babies come first. They always will. Sorry, boys."
Well, that's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm just looking for a single guy who loves kids and wants them already or has them. I don't know. I'm not really looking, so
Well,
just
you
gotta
just have
make
to
that
keep your eye
move.
out and see what happens. Well, it was nice having you on, Bailey. Thanks for sharing your story. I think your story is honestly probably pretty common to a lot of people. A
Yeah.
lot of our stories on the show are like usually very unique and have a lot of punchlines to them, but yours is like a common experience that I think a lot of people have experienced or do experience. So I think
Yes.
that listeners will appreciate that. For the listeners, as always, make sure you subscribe and save. We're streaming anywhere you can get your podcasts. Make sure you follow us on social media as well. It's Romance Unraveled on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you have a story like Bailey that you would like to share, you can reach out to me directly on one of those platforms and I'll get you scheduled to come onto the show. Until next time.